The defending Division III state champions are now just one win away from a trip back to Crew Stadium, but a resilient Granville team stands in their way tonight as these Blue Aces are about to go head-to-head with the Rockets of Bay. State Final Four coverage from Clear Fork High School about to kick off your Tuesday evening, live and free on the OH Report and NFHS network, and it's all coming up next.
This is Jonathan Langdon. Catch me right here every Thursday for the Block Party presented by Bob and Bob Door Company, your place for volleyball highlights on the OH Report.
Looking for the best high school sports coverage in Ohio? You found it right here on the OH Report. From the field to the court, we've got it all. OH Report brings you local coverage like nobody else in the area, live and free. Follow OH Report now and never miss a moment of the action. Don't just watch, be a part of the game with OH Report, the future of local sports. Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
The west side of Cleveland will meet the east side of Columbus tonight. Division III State Final Four action all set to begin here at the Colt Corral in Belleville as we welcome you to fabulous Clear Fork High School. I am Brian Skowronski. I will be joined a little bit later on here in the program by my star intern Jason Yoder. Going to be tracking some stats for you guys, but we are bringing you a live and free game here on the OH Report, also on the NFHS network. An exciting matchup, too, between the defending state champion of Bay and traditional powerhouse Granville. Each team is just one win away from advancing to Crew Stadium and trying to keep the ultimate dream alive of becoming a state champion within Division III. Those young ladies, almost all of them, know exactly what it feels like from a season ago and that cherished run that they had through the tournament, but they'll have to get through a tough squad here tonight in Granville, who has been playing some really gritty soccer as of late. But let's tell you about these Rockets. The number 3 team in the state, only 3 losses on the season are to some big-time powerhouses. Division I Avon, a regional finalist this year. Division I Medina, they were undefeated until last week. They got upset, rocked out of the tournament. They were the #1 overall team in the state, regardless of division. And then D2 Hudson at their place, they're competing in the Final Four tonight. They're 11-0-1 against Division III teams this season, allowing less than a goal per match. And so far during the tournament, these young ladies have surrendered just 2 goals in 4 playoff games, both of them given up to state-ranked Revere in the regional semifinals. So this is a team that you see that they mean business when they walk out here. No big cheers, celebrations. They walk out here, they command the field, they act like they've been here before because they have just a season ago. And this actually a team that has been to the Final Four 4 consecutive seasons. What an accomplishment for the seniors on this roster. And they've got about a handful of them that we're going to talk about and tell you about coming up here tonight in just a minute.
The non-starters, number 24, Emily Hayes.
Reading off the non-starters.
Number 28,
for Bay
Maggie
first.
Anderson. Number 45, Lily Kozma. Number 48, Ada Krasinski. Number 50, Meg
About
Webster.
to jump into our player spotlight.
Number
Be in the starting
21,
lineup.
Emma Duffy.
And that's going to be
Number 7,
Aley
Bernie
Fetterman,
Kruger.
a junior that has really taken
Number
a
9,
big leap
Michaela
here
Flores.
from sophomore to her junior campaign. She's just got a great center of gravity. Watching her in the pre-games, you can tell that she understands her positioning over the ball, and watching some film, she knows how to do the exact same thing against her opponents. Just use her leverage to her advantage. She leads the team in both goals and assists, filling the shoes of some amazing seniors that departed, lost to graduation last year. Everybody knows about Tessa Knapp, the 64 goals that she had. Emery Eschenbrenner as well, who had 19 goals last season. So they needed somebody to step up and become a primetime player and playmaker for them, and they have found that so far this season in Aley. She's going to have a standout performance for them to continue on into the state championship game for the 2nd consecutive season and 3rd time out of the last 4 years.
Number 8.
But on the flip side tonight, the Granville Blue Aces, 17 victories for the number 11 team in the state, coached by Ty Trin. Really gritty team. They found their way to this point by just playing some really clutch soccer, some big-time moments, overtime wins over Bexley and Ontario for district and regional championships. And they haven't quite played the strength of schedule that Bay has, but the top half of the Licking County League, they are all double-digit winning programs. So they get some pretty decent looks during the regular season, and they say that tradition never graduates. Well, the Blue Aces, they have plenty of it, just like Bay does. So certainly these are 2 programs that you kind of expect to be in these positions year in, year out, playing in state Final Fours with opportunities to bring home gold trophies with no defeats on their playoff journeys. And for Granville, the lady that's pretty much got them here, Miss Ivy Miller. She played hero in the district championship win, then netted all 3 goals in the victory in the regional final over Ontario. She is smooth like Reese's peanut butter. Sharp acceleration. You will see that when she's got the ball at her feet. She's almost faster than she is just on a dead sprint. And she's got a few teammates capable of getting her the ball on some crosses. She is an excellent finisher, and definitely she's the centerpiece of the offense. So look for number 11 to be just that focal point. When they're getting into the attacking third, Granville's going to be looking for her to try to finish, and we saw an amazing finish in the regional championship game on a cross from Davin Miller that everybody just assumed was going to go out of bounds. She came bursting into the picture, the cross, and then on the back end of it was Ivy to earn the championship and punch their ticket here into the state Final Four.
Remove your hats as we honor America.
We'll now honor America with the playing of our national anthem and then get ready for state Final Four action, exclusively streaming here on OH Report. The stage is set
My apologies
for state semifinal action here.
Coaches for tonight. The coaches for the visiting team Bay. Head coach Scott Simpson.
As they now announce the coaches over the loudspeakers here.
Assistant coach
Guess they
Jonah
didn't get their
Whitmire.
names called just a
Assistant
moment
coach
ago.
Dan Kaufman and assistant coach Liv Billick. The coaches for Granville are head coach Ty Trend, assistant coach Jamie Rogovin, and assistant coach Dustin Icavini.
All right, now let's dive into my keys to victory. We'll begin with Bay trying to get back to defend their crown at Crew Stadium. I mean, you just have to focus on Miller. Anytime she gets into the attacking third, that needs to be your main attraction. That's certainly what it's going to be offensively for them. And then sharing is carrying the ball movement. This team on the season, they have 17 different girls that have put the ball in the back of the net. 9 of them have scored multiple times. That means that there are no egos on this squad. They just do what it takes to get the job done. And if they can share the ball and key on Miller, I think that they move on into the championship. But on the flip side of things, there is a nice trio on the side of the Blue Aces. We saw them in the regional championship game. You're going to see Davin, Isla, and then Ivy, and then conditioning. Not a lot of subs to go around for this team. The Blue Aces, they pretty much, I think they played 12 girls, maybe 13 due to an injury in the regional championship game. So there's not a ton of depth, or at least they don't utilize it. So you cannot wear down, not in a game of this magnitude. You got to just empty the bucket and know that there's rest for you waiting on the bus ride home. So this is it, folks. A trip to the state championship about to be determined here tonight. The viewing section starting to fill in a little bit. Got about a half full crowd here on the home side. Much bigger contingent of Granville fans available here tonight than for the Bay Rockets. Granville, perhaps a little bit closer. I know they're familiar. They played here at Clear Fork last year in a game against the Colts. Play them every year. This year actually ended up getting beat by them 4-0 at home. That accounting for their last loss that they experienced. They've been on a great run ever since. Of course, undefeated so far here in the tournament. And the first touch, back tapped, and we are officially underway. Rockets with the possession here. to the corner, a quick cross. They had Danny Kaufman waiting out front, and that was almost incredibly dangerous. Now this one will be ripped, but into the hands of the senior keeper, Sydney Loffer. She makes her first save here of the evening. So a really quick start. As mentioned, Bay's got a plenty of different weapons that can attack. Granville kind of focuses a bit more on the trio that I detailed in my keys to the victory, but each of them double-digit goal scorers. And of course, we know about Miller time and just how special Ivy has been. So we're going to get our first foul here of the evening. And this is going to set up a set piece. They'll put Ruby Render on it. They'll flash 3 players just outside the 18. This one belted into the box. And that'll be knocked out of bounds. We'll have a throw-in on the way. Bay taking their time, allowing just about everybody. Actually, everybody is on the plus side of the field, minus the keeper right now. Hanging on to possession here. Trying to force the attack out on the wing. Good-looking ball. And the cross back post. Nobody home. And it's going to be a Granville throw-in. Instant replays tonight brought to you by BS Media Productions. The most affordable video commercials that you can possibly get in all of North Central Ohio and beyond. Aces with their first real possession here now. Working around to the back line here on the defensive unit. And this will be sprayed out up top. Throwing on the way here for Granville. Trying to thread it into Miller. Anna Weingart with a nice defensive play, and they'll get it up here for Madeline Lee. So after coming furiously out of the gates, Bay back with possession. Looking to get it down into the box. Great throw. And they'll loft this one. We'll see if it was deflected. Looks like that's going to be the call, and we'll have our first corner kick on the way. So the Rockets getting it teed up. And they'll send it into the mixer bowl. And Loffer is there to sky up, to shut it down. And a quick rollout trying to flip the field. It'll be poked out of bounds. We'll take one more look at this last corner kick attempt. Great job by the senior keeper. Loffer over 100 saves for her senior campaign. Sure-handed kid. Just a smooth move right there. Great ball on the money. A little bit misplayed. But boy, that looked like that was going to be absolutely treacherous for Olivia Ruma. But the junior made her break right when she needed to. And she was able to shut it down at the front door, outskirts of the 18. And after the bomb of a punt, Bay back on the attack, deep drive. That'll be another shot, this one from distance. Sydney collects it again. She's got a good-looking punt as well. Takes it here into enemy territory. Bay, though, wins the 50-50 ball. That pass off target. And it works its way out of bounds, back over to Granville. For those of you watching live and free on the OH Report tonight, you can drop me a comment, make yourself a part of the game. We are live on the BS Media Productions Facebook, along with the OH Report Facebook page, also our main YouTube channel. So let me know where you're tuning in from tonight. And every opportunity that we get with a little bit of downtime, I will certainly jump into the comments section. I know that these are two fan bases that we don't cover on a regular basis, but when we found out that the game was going to be here in our own backyard of OH Report, I thought that we would do the right thing. Nobody was going to cover this game for a video source, so we're out here and appreciate the charity from us tonight, bringing you the action free of charge. As Kaufman lays it out here near side. Alex Linsenmeyer kind of just lost the handle there, so it's back over to Granville, who's been kind of on their heels here for the first 6 minutes of the action. Foot race outside. Shoulder to shoulder. See, Isla Cook stayed with it. Forces a tough cross there. And Loffer again in between. Taking it on the hop. Excellent tackle. And Elena Snyder, this young lady, she is fierce on that back line for the Blue Aces. She just commands your attention anytime you're within her area. As this one gets deflected that time, Davin Miller off of her dome piece and into the hands of Loffer. Line drive punt, center of the park. They can't seem to control it. And now they will. Granville yet to really have a possession down in the attacking third. They had the one through ball that squeaked through, but an excellent play was made by Ruma. Nice connectivity here for Bay. But that one a bit undercooked from Izzy Bruno, intercepted. Regained possession here for the Rockets. Weingart to the outside. Now looking for the cross, driven in. And it's another simple play made by Sydney Loffer. She's been solid, perfect positioning so far, but certainly tested up to this point in the match. Meanwhile, that midfield, absolutely dominant here over the first 8 minutes for the Rockets. Not allowing an inch to the competition. It's been rare touches so far in their offensive side of the field for Granville. Meanwhile, another solid setup here near side. This is Kaufman. And Danny off the cross, gets it deflected right back to her. Allows it to chase over the end line. Quick throw. Now a good ball poked out here for Davin Miller. Didn't really have any pressure on it. Not sure why she felt she had to give that one up so quickly. So it's back over to the Rockets. Staying on the attack. You can see that very crisp. They try to keep everything on the carpet. Just maneuver it around and move the defense out of their comfort zone. Just about everywhere in the box, comfortable for Sydney Loffer. She had a solid match, made a couple really big saves in the regional championship game against Ontario. Needed overtime in that one, as I detailed in the pregame. Overtime double, actually, in the district championship. So for a team that doesn't exercise much of their bench use, they certainly have logged their minutes so far here during this tournament journey the last couple of weeks. Snyder, nice move, sets it up here to the outside. Little shake and bake for Mimi Wood, but she gets picked off, but out of bounds, and Mimi drives it down the line. Really nobody there on the other end as the intended target. But for Granville, this is a win right now. Just to have the offense with possession, flipping the field a bit, allow your defense to kind of catch their breath. And then certainly anytime you can get the ball at the feet of Isla Cook and this offense, it's always a good thing. Smooth move for her, and the trio really is. Number 11, 12, and 13 for Granville. You're going to notice throughout the course of the night, when they get their opportunities, they love to go one-on-one. They win a lot of those decisions as well. This one flanked too hard, looking for Anna Ehrlich. As we'll get our first substitution of the match. Comes about 11 minutes in. Madeline Lee is going to check out. That's Rockets ball here. Alex Linsenmeyer. We're waiting for the restart. And kind of misplayed there by Lily Kasmow. Leading to a bit of a breakout heavy touch here. Left foot of Isla Cook. Lost the handle. Trying to pin down the defender. Now it's taken away. Here's Miller to the middle. And the Rockets, boy, do they just swarm. They are a treat to watch here in the midfield. Incredibly impressive so far through the first dozen minutes. Missed touch here. A little bit out of the range of the intended target. So it's going to be Blue Aces ball. And they'll get Leah Cook into the mix. We'll see the sophomore for the first time tonight. Be interesting to see just how deep Ty Trin elects to go into his bench. Pretty fantastic weather for a state Final Four tonight. Temperatures right around 50 degrees at opening kickoff. It's dipping just a little bit so far, partly cloudy, and we know at the time change here, it's only 7:13 and already completely pitch black. Feels like it's bedtime out there. But these young ladies have a whole lot more on their mind than sleepy time. Trying to move on to the biggest stage in high school soccer for Division III. Backtracking, collecting. It's a nice move here to the outside, creating a little crease. The carry continues, and Laufer lays out, knocks it out of bounds, and we'll have a corner kick on the way. That was all Lily Kasmow, the freshman, just making this happen on her own. And it's tough to tell from our angle if Laufer really needed to go full extension on that one and set him up for this set piece. Second opportunity they've had here from this exact same corner. Put in play, left foot, mixer bowl, tipped up, but over the top, so they'll run it back. Get another corner on the way. Pretty well struck here from Kendra Vidmar. Just put it in a compromised situation there for Laufer in this defensive unit. This one a little understruck that time. Rockets, though, keep the 18 surrounded. Kaufman to the outside. Oh, great move. Left foot, the setup. Do we get a shot? Pinned down. Snyder comes in, shuts it down. And now here comes the counterattack. At least it looked like it was about to get set up. Certainly felt like we were going to get Anna Weingart just turning and firing a missile. So you really got to credit the senior Snyder applying that backside pressure. And now it's Granville ball out near midfield, about 15 minutes here into the game. We'll get our first stat update from the gentleman we call the Emperor here in about 5 minutes at the midway point here of half number one. Missed touch there from Isla Cook. And it's just been a mini ride on the struggle bus so far here offensively for Granville. Took them a little while in the regional championship to find their stride as well, as Ontario kind of dictated a lot of the pace over the first 40 minutes. They then scored early in the second half, and then after that point, it was the Blue Aces, and they were starting to get comfortable out on the pitch. So we'll see if this is similar here in the state semifinal matchup, as this is just towed out over the end line from Casmau. And another substitution by Coach Trin. Ehrlich right back in. Spending a short time over on the bench. Still 0-0. Granville yet to produce an offensive shot yet. And Bay really hasn't had that many clean looks either. They've played the majority of the contest within the confines here of Granville's defensive end, but they don't have a lot really to show for it outside of that first minute where they put together a really clean attack. And for the Blue Aces, you can tell that they're just really banking on an opportunity to hit him with a counter strike. Allow someone like a Davin Miller out on the perimeter. Certainly we've seen Isla Cook get an opportunity to try to just showcase their speed, drive one in the middle. And Ivy Miller pretty much has been a non-factor so far. Here she is pressuring, but they'll slip it right by her to Kaufman. But back out of play over on Bay's side. Throw in on the way. And they'll get a couple of fresh subs here into the mix. Scott Simpson making some changes. And a big coaching staff for the Bay Rockets. Several assistants here. Haley Duffy, Jonah Wishmeyer, Dan Kaufman, Liv Doik. Fresh into the mix here. Here's Meg Webster. But down for the save, Lawfer. Looking more like a law firm out there. Just making sure that nobody gets by her. Not in her courtroom. Another great save. Excellent body positioning as well. Falling on her hip. That way she could get both paws on it. Another good-looking setup. A little overcooked here for Lee. Madeline, left foot, drive in. And it's knocked out at least momentarily for now by Finley Boone. Bay staying with it. Nice spacing. This one launched but deflected out of bounds. And it's going to be a rocket throw-in on the way. See, Bruno got big eyes here, but Snyder, awesome closing speed. Gets the outside portion of the boot on it. And we'll get another lob here into the box. Just nobody available to pick up on the other end for the Bay Rockets. This one drifted left with the shot attempt. That'll set up another goal kick. With that, we will check in with the man we call the Emperor. Got Jackson tracking all the stats so far, but first give me your impression. We're about halfway into this first half and just what you're seeing from each of these units.
I've seen a lot of offense from the Rockets. I noticed they've just been playing really, I wouldn't say too aggressive, but they definitely are keeping the pressure on as we get a little poke shot there, but it will be gobbled up. But if you're Glenville Aces right now, you've been on defense just about this whole first half as of right now, and they are playing good, haven't allowed any goals, even though they have allowed a lot of shots. That was that shot right there was just the Rockets' 10th.
Wow.
And that was their 7th on the net. So really, they've got a lot of shots. Aces only have one shot on net to their name and one foul, and that's all I have for them. 3 corners for the Rockets. So Rockets definitely have the advantage so far in this first half.
Yeah, they've been dominating the time of possession, keeping the ball down on their end, but in the beautiful game, Oftentimes that doesn't matter. The score sheet's still the same, 0-0 so far. And you can tell that it feels like eventually, like we got about 10 minutes ago, one-on-one with the keeper, even though Ruma was able to make a great play, you feel like Granville's going to get a couple more of those opportunities tonight.
Yeah, they're like that. That double overtime game, they came up with the win. Now they're here battling for a spot in historic Cruz Stadium. So they're not gonna go down like this. They're gonna get a couple more opportunities before this game is over.
Yeah, no question. But right now they're on their heels, back defending, just trying to keep the Rockets out of the back of the net. As this one just about a foot too tall. But a nice job settling it, and a good rip there from Bruno. A lot of young players here on this team, plenty of them involved right now up in the attack. Appreciate the insight there, Emperor. We'll check back in with Jackson. We'll get another stat update at the break. We'll break that down for you on our halftime report. We'll check in on some of the other games going down around the state tonight. Of course, the other Division III state semifinal. We also are at a Division II game tonight. Bishop Watterson is taking on Hudson. So if you want to flip over, check that one out. That is on our OH Report Facebook page. It is also on our YouTube channel 6, along with NFHS Network. See how you guys are doing out there in the chat section. I want to say what's up to Chris Deal. He just says he's watching. Thank you, Chris, for the viewership tonight. As we get a rare breakout here for Granville. And they're going to be able to at least keep it in play. But the Rockets, you got to be so impressed with just how quickly they're able to step up. And the energy and effort, it's been noticeable because Granville, every opportunity for a 50-50 ball, it seems like they're about a half step behind.
I think so too.
So Bay looking to maneuver out of their territory. Kept on the floor. It'll race away and then just swept out of bounds here by Snyder. Lena Snyder, such a strong centerpiece. Back line of defense. Granville given a little bit of space and allows Bruno to send one here from deep. Another save, number 8 so far for Loffer. Meanwhile, Blue Aces, Miller, great job applying 2 different defenders over into her territory. Now one of the rare chances they've had on the outskirts of the attacking third, and just like that, the window closes. Though it jets back down there. A couple of turnovers. Now the Aces just going to try to keep possession here on the back line. Before it goes out of bounds, but it is going to be a Blue Ace throw-in. Hear the pro Granville crowd starting to shake their cowbells out here tonight as Miller lets one rip from deep. Ruma there. No problem for her. The first true shot of the match tonight for the Granville Blue Aces.
That's a pretty good first attempt.
And I think that's what you're going to have to do if you're Ivy Miller and company. If you've got any type of sliver or window, try to test. Put the junior keeper on notice that you're at least willing to attempt those shots from outside of the box. Turning the corner, here goes Kaufman. Danny lets one rip. And a one-hopper down to the ground. And again, it's Loffer. Closing in on double-digit saves in this first half. So as well as the Rockets have played and certainly controlled the entire action so far up to this point, don't have anything to show for it with the senior keeper doing her thing. Miller tried to split through the gap. Lost it to the double team. Now Reagan Smith just barreling her way into the equation. Oh, great play here by Bay to keep it in bounds. Looked like Granville let up just a tad. Now it'll be out of bounds. Allow the Rockets to get Alex Lindenmeyer back into the fold. Throw-in coming up. Just over 14 minutes to play here in this quick-moving opening half. And another easy play for Sydney Loffer. She certainly stepped up when she's needed to make the clean saves. There's also been some pretty easy attempts that she's been able to handle, such as this. That'll go out of bounds, and we'll get another goal kick coming up. Don't mind the attempt. Plenty of space out in front. As we're back off the restart, goal kick. It's going to slip by a Granville player. And again, Bay, I mean, they've had about 80% of the possession so far up to this point. Keep it on the attack. Looking for a crease here. Linsenmeyer gets it shelled out. Deep throwing coming up. Gonna just play it in short, try to go right back to her. As this one trickles down the near sideline right in front of the Granville bench and then out of bounds here. And we'll have a Blue Aces throw on the way. See, we've got about 200 of y'all watching out there on the YouTubes together. Make sure that you drop me a comment and let me know where you're tuning in from this evening. Always cool to see the international viewership that we had on Saturday for Granville. And what do we have here? Do we have a foul? Looks like just a throw-in and a clean tackle shoulder to shoulder there. That's the right call there on Aley Fetterman. She's been pretty quiet so far. Our player spotlight, not a lot of opportunities. So that's kept in play. Here's the cross to the middle, and Rumau. She'll throw it out of there immediately. And a lot of green in front. Granville a bit caught off guard here. But a fast turn for Lee. The ball escapes away from her. Bay again controls. Ruby rendered to the middle. Got the triangle playing now. Granville just certainly, it kind of feels like they're really just waiting for their moments. Not expending a lot of energy. Certainly within the midfield, they're kind of just laying low. And then they're hoping that that counter-strike becomes available, and still in a great spot to continue to go with that type of strategy here, sitting at 0-0, and as well as Sydney Loffer has played.
One thing I've noticed is the fact that the Aces have only put up 3 shots. All of them are on net. They have been putting up quality looks when they do get those chances. For the Rockets more, they're just kind of putting up shots whenever they can, which, I get it. You're playing for a spot in the finals. You do want to, just keep going and wear out that keeper. But at the same time, when you're putting up a quality looks like the Aces are, I think you're a little bit more doing the better job rather than the Rockets.
See what the Rockets get here. It's going to get disrupted. That was Linsenmeyer. Settles, but no shot comes. Danny Kaufman. It felt like she was going to have a chance to unload. This one will, but it goes left of frame. I'll spin it back and show you this bouncing ball. It looked like right there might be an opportunity for Kaufman. So you tip your cap there. Claire Weaver getting in between and not allowing anything from about 10 yards out. So the clean sheet remains for Lawfer and company. And can they find a couple of opportunities offensively over these last 9.5 minutes and really just try to flip the script? I've covered a ton of playoff soccer matches where the team that looks like Bay, totally in command, somehow, some way, they end up trailing at the half. So that's just all part of the strategy that we're seeing played out here. So there's another firm tackle handled by Weaver. Two good-looking plays by Claire over about the last minute of play.
Oh, here we go, the breakaway.
Yeah, chance here. Miller thought about it. Between a triple team, zigzag, sets up, shoots. Not a lot there, but definitely the best opportunity for Ivy Miller and the Granville offense.
Crowd's getting loud now. They like that. It was a good chance.
Had their best player of the year within the Licking County League. 33 goals and counting, a hat trick, our MVP in the regional championship on Saturday in Marion. Trying to pick up our workload. Belted down, though. Weingart with a really sturdy tackle. And this is flipped. Could have been trouble had Kaufman been on her horse about a couple of yards further downfield. Turn here by Kaufman. And she gets leveled. That'll be a foul. And we're going to have a free kick on the way. Bay's going to be able to take dead aim here from about the football 17-yard line. Actually, they'll move it back to the 18. And they're going to put Alex Lindenmeyer on it. Four-lady wall foreman right now for the Blue Aces. There's going to be a lot of heavy traffic coming from that right side as well. Now they'll shift. They'll bring Render on it. They'll flank Lindenmeyer out to the left. Here it comes. Render. The shot. But it's right at the keeper. Sid barely even had to move.
Now we're going to get a counterattack from the Aces.
Oh, great job. Splitting between. Almost found Reagan Smith on the other end that time. And Ivy Miller, she's known as a goal scorer, but certainly she's got a handful of assists on the season. Unselfish player. Under 7 minutes remaining here, first half. We're in Belleville tonight, Clear Fork High School. Great venue for this Final Four game, and a great shot goes overhead of the keeper. Maybe the best attempt so far. And some extracurricular at the end. Let's show you this last shot, though. Pretty good. And then I think the replay is going to cut off, but just two girls going head-to-head out there. Ended up with a Granville player down on the turf. Haven't seen a lot of chaos and over-aggressiveness so far here in this match. Has been very well played on each side. Very few fouls. Neither team has really cost themselves. Cook's going to try to drop it back, and it's going to end up with the turnover here. So Bay looking to get aggressive. Another smooth move. The turn, the shot.
Is it going to go?
Wow.
Oh, good D.
Just off the fingertips of Sydney Lawfer. Easily the most exciting shot attempt tonight. It's Madeline Lee. Pokes it up over, but not quite far enough. Just gets Looks like the ring finger on it enough. Beautiful save. Biggest of the night so far for Loffer. We'll show it to you one more time. Just that close to being a 1-0 difference. Big time save from your senior. Bay looking to stay aggressive. So be driven into the box. Nobody makes a run. So I'll settle back into the hands here of Loffer. And the lefty with the boot. One out of the sky. Bay's pretty much been the first to the ball over and over so far here tonight. They do have that state championship pedigree. A lot of girls back from that team a year ago, but plenty of young blood too. So this is a pretty fun structure of the roster when you look at how many freshmen are here on the actual tournament roster. I think they have 5 to be exact. A few of them actually getting into the mix. Several sophomores as well. And they graduated a handful of seniors from a year ago. But everybody, of course, remembers Tessa Knapp, and just an extraordinary year for her, leading the Rockets to a state championship. And how about 64 goals for her last year in the high school ranks?
Dang. Is that first?
That probably was first in Division III.
That's crazy. In one season?
One season.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lifetime for a lot of players. Going back even to, like, Biddy ball.
Dude, that's crazy.
Off the corner, flick forward, off the header. Nobody can handle it from Weingart. This will just be spelled out of there. Here it is, the flip.
Rockets' 4th corner of the night.
They've gotten a couple of decent looks off of them. Of course, haven't been able to cash in. Their back line rarely has needed to be used in this capacity here, but you just see how fluid they are, how well they move it from side to side, and they just force you to try to flow with how they want to flow. It's been a thing of beauty. The only thing they don't have to show for it so far is a goal. Certainly been knocking on the door. So this becomes loose in the middle of the park, but split out of there down here into Rocket territory, where the ball has seldom been so far here tonight, folks. If you're joining us a little bit late, it's been the defending D3 state champions just really being at the controls so far. They've been applying a lot of pressure, but for Granville, they're allowing quite a bit of space within the middle of the field. And again, a team that they've only had 1 sub so far. Up to this point, they're going to play 10 kids, the full 80, as this is a great ball, left foot, back post.
Ooh. Close one.
Another good look. And does eventually roll out. That was Fetterman, their leading scorer. Looking for 18th. Just couldn't stretch out. And I think a big reason for that, Maddie Bloomfield there on the back line. Just making sure that there was no opportunity to get a clean look. Closing minute goal here would be absolutely enormous just in terms of getting the momentum. Rockets have threatened a ton so far. Well into the double figures in terms of shots. And here's another one in that. A dandy of a save. The second gorgeous tip out of bounds by Sydney Loffer here over the last 5 minutes. Wow. Great stuff there from the senior.
So we're going to get the 5th corner kick.
They're going to have to go quickly, down to a dozen seconds. This will be barreled up, heading back post. Loffer skies to the occasion. You would expect nothing less after what we've seen so far in this first half. keeping a clean sheet so far as we have reached the break. 0-0 here in the state semifinal game. Awesome performance by Bay. Equally as fantastic to watch for Sydney Lawfer and the back line so far for Granville to keep this game scoreless up to this point. We'll take a quick commercial timeout. We'll be back. Jackson and I will break down all the numbers you need to know from this state semifinal. We'll check in on some of the other games going down throughout the state of Ohio in girls soccer tonight. And then, of course, get you all set for the next 40-minute stanza. We'll see if that is enough to determine who moves on into the state finals. It's live and free on the OH Report, also streaming on NFH Network, the only place to watch this game. We'll be back here in just a couple minutes.
This is Jonathan Langdon. Catch me right here every Thursday for the Block Party presented by Bob and Bob Door Company, your place for volleyball highlights on the OH Report.
Looking for the best high school sports coverage in Ohio? You found it right here on the OH Report. From the field to the court, we've got it all. OH Report brings you local coverage like nobody else in the area, live and free. Follow OH Report now and never miss a moment of the action. Don't just watch, be a part of the game with OH Report, the future of local sports. Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
That's right, winter is coming, and we'll have all the basketball action that I know that you crave and that you deserve here on the OH Report, the home of live and free. Hope that everybody out there that is learning about us for the first time is enjoying the coverage. We are happy to be here bringing you guys the only video coverage of tonight's match. We're going to get all of the stats tallied up. Jackson and I will be back with you guys here in about 2 minutes. We'll break down all those first half numbers and then get you ready for second half action. Stay right there. We'll return with your halftime report soon. It is halftime here in Belleville. No score so far in this state semifinal showdown. State-ranked Granville, number 3 Bay going head-to-head. Both still scoreless as we are 40 minutes into the action. I'm Brian Skowronski. Jackson Yoder is here with me as well. But we are joined by a whole bunch of our friends out there, including Emma Mast, who says, go Jackson. I think I want Granville to win, but I haven't been following soccer other than for my school. And then on the flip side, we see Jugular Sloth says the Bay Boys soccer team is in the chat. Great to have you guys, and we are looking forward to covering you guys tomorrow. That is at least the plan up to this point. So if you're a Bay fan and you are out there watching and you're enjoying the coverage, we can have it live and free on our page, on our Facebook, and our main YouTube channel tomorrow. All we need is a little bit of sponsor support. So hit me up in the chat. My phone number also is all over the Facebook. So feel free to get a hold of me, Brian Skowronski, here on the call. On the Facebook, the chat section starting to blow up. What up, Lauren Michelle, cheering on the Aces. So is Mariah Gibbs. We got Melissa watching from Charlotte, North Carolina, enjoying the Aces tonight. So is Carla and April and Lauren. And Mariah. Ooh, a lot of Aces fans out there.
Dang.
That's the case here in Belleville tonight, too. So this is a well-supported program. A soccer mom out there tuning in and enjoying the action as well. Jennifer says Sid is on fire. Boy, was she ever. What a performance by the senior keeper of Granville in that first half.
Yeah, she's doing great, man.
And I see Ruby Render, the great niece of one Deb Seppa Maki Newsom. And then Izzy just chiming in a second ago. She's cheering on Granville tonight. Well, the score is tied, but certainly the numbers will favor Bay so far here tonight, Jackson. You've got them for 22 shots. There's a couple of them potentially that maybe just crosses that went a little bit astray, but at the same token, they've been pulling up. They've been shooting from distance. They've certainly been trying to keep Sid Loffer on her toes, and she's been on her toes, on her hip, on her back, on her butt. She has been everywhere tonight.
She's been all over the goal, man. She's been all over the place. Yeah, this Rockets team, they've been keeping the pressure on, shooting from just about any possible location you could imagine.
Sure.
They want to bring on the intensity. They want this state semifinal to get into the state championship, and they're doing just that.
Yeah, they, of course, are the defending champions, a much different-looking team from what we saw a season ago, but still very much in the mix as they are looking to punch their ticket into the championship. And guess what? Tomorrow night, as promised, we've got some more soccer coming up. Definitely want to cover that Bay game against Wyoming in Division 4. And then St. Ignatius versus St. Charles. That's going to be right back here at the Colt Corral at Clear Fork High School. So I'm planning on coming over and covering that one. Those will be on OH Report and the NFH Network. So not a lot of coverage out there for the state semifinals. I was pretty surprised. I received a phone call and just asked if we could come out and help out, Jackson. So that's what we're doing, just making sure that these teams are seen, and happy to be out here. One of my favorite venues to cover any sporting event out here, the Colt Corral. And even though it gets really dark here really early, but that's pretty much the case for everywhere on the East Coast.
Right.
It's such a gorgeous background when you come in here right now with all the leaves changing, but definitely starting to chill out a little bit. Only about 45 degrees.
We have one window just slightly tinted so we could get the camera out there, but yeah, it is a little chilly up here. It's not the worst ever. I think we'll be okay for the most part, but yeah, Colt Corral in the valley. When it's still daylight and it's like slowly starting to set, man, it's gorgeous out here, and you get the most beautiful view from the press box.
That's absolutely right. It's a great view as well from Columbus Crew Stadium, and here's how it has shaken out so far up to this point. We know Bay was able to knock off Rocky River for the second time this season. That was a 1-0 affair in the regional championship. A come-from-behind win for Granville. They were down 2-0 against Ontario, and then it became Miller time for the entire second half. And then we saw Ivy cash in the game winner in OT. Baden right now is going head-to-head with Hoban, and everybody kind of feels like Hoban is the team to beat in Division III this year. So I'm going to try to pull up. I'll see if I can get a score for that one. Or if you are out there watching and you have an idea of what's going on right now in the other state semifinal in Division III
let us
tonight,
know.
definitely chime in and get us a score on that Baden versus Hoban game. That one should be coming back from the half right now as well, as both units back out onto the pitch. We're getting set for second half action. I'll run a quick search here.
I'll take care of play-by-play for the next couple minutes here.
Let's see.
Aces looking to kick off.
0-0 at the half for that one as
0-0
well.
at the half. Dang. So got a couple of 0-0 matchups. We'll have to see how both of these turn out. Imagine both of these going to overtime. That would be crazy storyline for both of these games if they would come off of both overtime.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the beauty and the poetry of soccer. During the regular season, there's no such thing, and then all of a sudden, once you break into the tournament competition, coaches, they have to start changing a little bit. Now you're working on penalty kicks a little bit more. Conditioning becomes a bit more of a factor, so that's a nice turn, as we've seen all night from Snyder, but puts it out of bounds. You want to try to go a little bit deeper in the roster than we've seen Granville so far up to this point, but at the same time, who am I to say? They've gotten to this point really going 12 or 13 deep so far during the tournament, and it's pretty impressive to watch these athletes and how they are able to kind of limit themselves, not exhaust within the midfield. They really do. They kind of ease up on the gas a little bit, Jackson, and it's noticeable that they're just pacing.
Yeah, they are. But I do notice that, when they do get down there, they do start to toughen up just a little bit, just like that, to make sure that a ball doesn't go through the net. But yeah, when they're around midfield, just slowing it down, resting, and now look what we got here. We got a counterattack with the aces. What could we? Oh, that's a good pass there.
Yeah, Cook through the 5-hole, and it comes right back to her from Reagan Smith. So a great build-up here. Davin Miller off the cross. Never made its way back into the field of play. Not deflected either, so it is going to be a goal kick coming up. But for the junior that time, we saw the game winner. Miller to Miller. Davin from much farther away that time, but we've seen that this Miller combo, they can get it dialed in, just didn't have it right there. But a good sign for Granville. And I was very interested to see. I covered the regional championship match against Ontario, and they were a way different looking team in the second half, where they kept it in second gear for the first half, and then by time they fell behind 2-0, then they threw it in the third and fourth, and they kind of kept it there for the entire duration of the second half. We'll see if they're able to dig deep like that here tonight against a Bay team that possesses a little bit better than the Lady Warriors.
Yeah, some teams are just better playing in the second half. You use that first half to just maybe experiment, if you will, like just feel your way out, see what's going on, and then once you're in the second half, you're right. All right, this didn't work. This might work. Let's try this. Let's try something new. Mix things up a little bit. You can make changes throughout halftime, and then that second half, you're like, we're on, we're going, and we're gonna score.
Trying to see if we can identify any type of new patterns out here strategically. It looks like both teams kind of rolling with what we saw through the first 40. So we get a throw in for Bay. That's chested forward and really well done. Chance here for Fetterman. Misses the frame with this one, but another shot fired, and the Rockets certainly making sure that Sid Loffer, she can't fall asleep at the wheel. This has got to be nonstop, no doze, a couple energy drinks in her system, just constantly ready.
You got to be ready for anything when you're a goalie. You never know when that ball's going to come at you.
She's been up for the challenge so far here tonight. We've got her unofficially about 15, 16 saves. So she's in my top spot in the clubhouse for the player of the game. We will interview an MVP at the completion of tonight's game. And we always love hearing from the viewing audience out there on OH Report. Let us know who you think is worthy, and a long way to go in this one. But at this moment, certainly Sid Loffer has been standing out. I think this is going to be a mistouch by Bay, certainly. This will be back over Blue Aces ball. Just so fast the Rockets are. Just seems like they're able to accelerate at a different level so far here in this match. Off the turn, Cook couldn't discover it out of the sky. As we see Fetterman getting a bit more involved here than she did early on in the first half. A lot of space and just not a good pass. I think she was really surprised that the pressure didn't come, because that's where, for the bulk majority tonight, Bay's just pretty much just been like a swarming hive of Hornets out there in the midfield. Another strong touch. They say out of bounds. Fetterman. Take a second look here. Well, it must have been off the first initial touch, because certainly that was very well in bounds off the second. The referee 2 inches away, so a much better look than we have up here in the box. Fetterman again just outpaces this one a bit, trying to hook up with Madison Lee. To the center of the park, that one disrupted. Weingart able to flick out her left leg. Now a chance here for Cook. Flaring it to the outside. Granville starting to get some numbers, bursting forward. Looking to flip the field, and don't like that much at all. Certainly when you've got Ivy Miller getting involved in the middle. Like to see that be a cross just kind of towards the top of the 18 there. See if your outstanding junior forward can make something happen. But a good sign for Granville. They rarely had a build-up that had that much promise in the first half.
And Granville's starting to show a little bit more fight here in the second half. Like you mentioned, they might be. I think they're a little bit more of a second half team now that we're starting to see them establish themselves this second half. They're doing a lot better, just getting it down in the offensive zone and creating some opportunities.
They have come from behind in 2 of their last 3 postseason matches, as Ehrlich dribbles into some troubles, maybe one touch too many. Now the Rockets looking to collect, but they'll give it away. Nice job of backtracking by Reagan Smith. And they'll keep it in bounds, at least for a touch, but a Granville throw on the way. Right in front of their bench unit. Ehrlich dials up a nice one. She'll get to do it all over again about 12 yards further down the pitch. Trying to locate this one down in the corner for Cook. Was able to get a left boot on it. Now Snyder looking for some options. Haven't seen Granville play very many connecting passes so far here tonight. You more credit Bay than anything. Now here's Davin Miller. Nothing on the other end except for the palms of Olivia Rumau. But for Granville, more opportunities in these first 7.5 minutes than they really had about that entire first half, Jackson.
Yeah, a lot more. Seeing just a lot more playing around midfield rather than one team dominating in possession like we saw the first half. And now maybe that's shifted a little bit in the Aces' favor.
They've had the run of play so far here in the early portion of half number 2. Though it's going to be back over to Bay, and they'll have the possession on the throw-in coming up. Again, make your voice hear heard on the OH Reports on Facebook and YouTube. If you drop me and Jackson a comment, we will shout you out every opportunity we get during substitutions, long setups for goal kicks, all that type of stuff. We love hearing from you. And so far, the winner for the farthest viewer away is in North Carolina tonight. So can you do better than that? Are you further geographically from the Colt Corral here in Belleville, Ohio than Charlotte? Oh, great touch, but an even better tackle by Snyder. Kind of a dangerous play. She just laid right over it. Not sure what you want her to do, and that's why there was no infraction. Now Kaufman, just a giveaway here into the back line. And this will be cleaned up on the back end. Kept in bounds here by Ehrlich, but turned away. And now we've got a throw in. Not a good one either, because Isla Cook, she was just a little off bounds, but nobody was in about 8 yards of her. But now she's got a turnover. A little bit of a head of steam too, looking to turn towards the middle of the park. Kept it on the carpet, but undercooked for Miller.
Had a chance.
Nice move to the outside and a connecting pass. And I think a bit of a lucky bounce there, ends up at the feet of Ivy. Nice defensive effort here by Bay. They get it back. A couple moans and groans here from the Granville cheering section. As the Rockets looking to move into the attacking third. Good ball here. Looking for a window. Bruno has it taken away. As he's been one of the leading scorers on the team so far this year. Second, matter of fact, double digits behind this young lady right here, Fetterman, who lobs it off of the football goalpost, and that'll go out of bounds. We've got a goal kick coming up.
Substitution number 45, Billy Kazma.
Battle in the midfield dropped back. This one takes a couple of hops. Be played in stride. It was Vidmar before she ran into some trouble.
We got a Let's Go Aces chant. These Aces fans, they want something to happen here. Really well representing their team, and we've seen that throughout the match today.
Yeah, fantastic fan support here for Granville, and it seems to just be accumulating. There's a lot of students down around the fence section, so they've got plenty of young people out here. They've got those fresh lungs that they can scream at the top, and then a lot of moms too with the cowbell. So it's been a nice, noisy atmosphere for the state semifinal. And we were down on the pitch when there was about 20 minutes to go in pregame, and we were a little worried. I got to say, Chad, we were like, "There's really nobody here."
Yeah, for
the
Rockets, but it's definitely filling up, and I think we just needed to give them a little bit more time. They don't show up a bit as early as we do to cover these games, especially when you're traveling from a little bit further out than what we are.
Here's Ivy Miller at the controls, just taking on any and all comers, slips through a double team.
Oh, here we go. Ooh.
Great step up last moment. Looked like Smith was going to have clean rein for a shot. But Granville starting to build some momentum. Got a late foul. Show you this whole build up here. Actually, it's an offsides call, excuse me. as they return back to the action. Here it comes off the air. It's going to be one off of a header by Granville. Now shot out of bounds, far side, throwing on the way here for the Blue Aces. Good header forward and creating a little bit of space now here for Meg Webster. Shake and bake to the outside. And here comes the shot, and it's in there!
Goes!
Our first goal of the night. Bay strikes first. It's the freshman Webster.
The freshman.
Huge moment for the youngster to step up, and she delivers. They had been knocking on the door over and over in the first half. Limited offensive opportunities here in the second, but they finally kick in the door right here. Off the deflection, Laufer a little bit off balance. And the Frosch with the lefty to the back.
The left foot. You don't see that all the time.
Beautiful stuff right there. At the 25-minute mark, exactly.
Now if you're Granville, you got to be like, all right, we got to score now. So if you don't, you're just out of luck, I guess.
Granville in the regional championship game after falling behind 2-0. They immediately struck back, but a sliding play made here by Rumau. Good read. She was a little late on the break. This pushed out in front from Miller. A little bit over measured that time. If not, that would have been a great chance just about 20 seconds later for an equalizer.
And you mentioned that 2-0, that coming back from 2 down. And so if they've done it before, and you also mentioned how they've come back in the past 2 or 3 games, they can probably do it again here if they want, and they've shown it that they can when they really put their minds to it.
Perhaps just a little bit more incentive when they see themselves behind on the scoreboard. Had been building a lot of momentum here early on in the second half. And here's the freshman. Perhaps her confidence rising now. And for the season, take a look at Meg Webster. Just her second goal.
Wow.
Boy, what a time to step up. This one gets flared back out of there. Bay was looking to make it 2-0 in a jiffy. Smooth move here by Mimi Wood. She's got great control over the top of the ball. Not a great pass, though. Weingart coming the other way. Snyder's going to wait on it. Levels it to the outside, on the money. Good looking pass and a lot of green out in front. They're going to push forward for Miller. But collected at the outskirts by Ruma. Good back and forth action going right now. You just kind of have that sensation that goals might start accumulating here over these last 25 minutes of the match. I don't think one is necessarily going to do it tonight.
Doesn't look like it is. These ladies are battling. In the end, it might become a question of who wants it more.
Granville certainly feels like they've taken it up a notch here in the second half, as we sort of presumed. Pacing themselves a bit in the first, and they had the result that they wanted, 0-0. Can they dig themselves out of this 1-0 hole? Miller gets her pocket picked. Gorgeous defense played there by Bruno. And now this one's going to slip through. A chance for the freshman again. Not this time. Webster, though, playing some sharp minutes right now up top. So we get a big collision. I think this is going to be a foul. You see Cook a little slow to pick herself up off the turf. And on that artificial surface down there, especially when it starts getting cold.
Yeah. Ugh.
Short shorts, kind of sliding across right there on the thighs.
Ow.
Not ideal for anyone.
No.
So it does give him a chance here. Set piece. Just elect to play it short here for Ehrlich. And that's a bad giveaway right in the middle of the field when they had numbers forward. 8 to be approximate. Snyder steps up, but it remains down here. Webster to the outside. Good looking turn. Now they've got a little window looking for a potential cross. This is Linsenmeyer. Takes it down to the flag, though, where she's met by Maya Van Berskirk. Get a substitution coming. The sub. Dive back into the comments section, see what you guys are chatting about. SMT Media Network says Bay is here for the Dubs. Open the flood. Goalie change, Bay at the half. Trying to bring it back to Titletown. A lot of comments coming in there. The bulk majority here in the second half. We do have the Mantis Boxer watching from Ontario. Granville gave our girls a tough game this past weekend. No question about it. That was a heartbreaker for the Lady Warriors. And a huge congratulations, of course, to Granville for winning that game, as we've got a shot fired, but another save under the belt here of Loffer. Boy, as she had been up for the challenge. Fetterman wasn't able to get a ton of pace behind that one. She kind of needed to launch it, and instead that was more of a jalapeno instead of a ghost pepper. Off the attack, turn here near side. Ehrlich sets it up. There's the cross, back post, and boy, she just clutched that one, didn't she? Almost looked like she had stickum on the end of those mitts. Look at this catch. Perfect grab. David Miller was tracking on the other end.
Like an NFL wide receiver right there.
Yeah, kind of looked that way. A little Jordan Jefferson action, Justin, I should say. Definitely not a Jerry Jeudy.
No.
Hopefully you can get it together coming up here this week. We got the Jets, so.
Oh, right, but they beat the Bengals, and we can't beat the Bengals, so I feel like we're the Browns. We should just expect to lose every week. We shouldn't even go in expecting anything.
See what they expect here. It's just going to go out of play. A little too far out of the reach here for Madeline Lee. Want to say what's up to Pam Mabry, who said, nice goal, Bay. Enjoyed that one. Sophie cheering on Bay as well. And Brandy just says thanks for covering the games. Happy to be out here tonight. Another chance for the Blue Aces. Miller turned away down in the corner. We see the midfield was pretty much just vacant. Nobody
we
there.
go!
Great hop. Oh. Awesome save, but the follow-up is in there. We are all square. One apiece. It's Davin Miller.
Wow.
It was a great initial save by Olivia Rumau. She spilled it out. Couldn't clear it. And then cleaning up the mess. It's the junior Miller. Show you this whole thing. Great ball into the box, too. Just misplayed off the header there from Render. And again, an awesome initial play by Olivia. But try again. Miller didn't give it up on it. And the Aces get it all back to even.
For a second there, it looked like the keeper had it. I thought she had it in her hands. And I was thinking that was going to be a pretty devastating blow for the Aces, but they got the rebound. They got the putback. It's 1-1 here in the Valley.
We'll see if the pendulum of momentum is able to swing now in the corner of Granville. They were getting close. Bay, though, they've had some solid build-ups themselves here lately. Here's the turn in the middle. Reagan Smith. And it just flutters out of bounds. Weingart. So a throw-in coming up here for the Blue Aces. So we're getting close to the 15-minute mark. Half two. And that's going to be a handball. And Granville fans want to know why Bay fans are so quiet out here, Jackson.
Oh, man. Nothing better than an active student section, I'll tell you that. Not something that you usually see at a soccer game. Usually it's more football, but these fans, like I said, representing well, they take pride in their soccer, that's for sure.
Yeah, Bay is a soccer community through and through. Obviously, they play some football up there, and they get in the playoffs just about every season. However, I mean, these two programs, you look at what the boys have been able to accomplish, and now the ladies are on, like, a similar streak. Granville, though, been to state a whole bunch of times. Misplay, and that was almost devastating.
Oh, man.
Let's show you this one again, just how close this was.
That could have been it.
Doesn't cost them, though. As it's a corner kick, they will set it up short. This one blasted in.
Whoa.
Sky high, second level offer comes down with it. Boom. And she is one that is not afraid to have a couple of bumps and bruises at the end of the night. You almost have to, though, if you're a keeper. You gotta sell out.
Yeah, and if you win this game and you're going to the state championship, yeah, it's all worth it in the end.
Cook sends to the middle. It's knocked out of there, all the way to the back line here for Granville. Wood again, able to make a defender miss. Can't sneak that one by. A couple of good angle passes. The third one into the middle for Fetterman. Fetterman in the middle. See if they try to find her again. Just launched out. Elena Snyder doing what she does best. Just throws it into overdrive when she absolutely needs to. Now they'll drop this one back for Sydney. Loffer barrels this one up. One off the header here by Bay. Rockets certainly felt like it was their ball. It's going to be. I think just how demonstrative that time that Lee was. How do you say no? Foul, though, comes right here.
Sometimes better listen to the crowd.
They're going to say dangerous play, high kick. So the infraction will set up a free service shot here. Mimi Wood taking her time. She's got a whole bevy of options out littered around the outskirts of the 18, driven a little shy of there. And be pushed back to midfield where things have really opened up in the second half. That's kind of been just an empty spot in a few segments of this match. Well flared out. Fetterman in the middle. Snyder almost overran the play. Now gets back involved. Pinned down over in the corner. Going head to head here with Linsenmeyer. And it'll be a throw-in coming up here deep for the Rockets in Granville territory. So we await a sub to trot on. Meg Webster back up top here for Bay. A lot of activity down in the corner, and then last off the right boot there of Webster. Oh, they're saying corner kick. I think that's certainly the wrong call. It is. So they missed this one.
This is going to be the Rockets' first of the half.
Be taken by Kaufman, but never really made its way back into the action. So we're down under a dozen minutes to go. Winner moving on to Crew Stadium. Taking on the winner of the Baden versus Hoban match, which was 0-0 at the break.
I need to get a score update on that one. So since then, both the teams here have scored. Maybe both of the teams there have scored, or at least put one relatively through the back of the net.
And I do have an update at the 27-minute mark. It was still 0-0 in that match. Little burst here. Wave of energy now for Ehrlich. Runs out of steam. Met by a double. Trying to push her way through goes Cook. The setup one-timer. Oh, what a save.
Wow.
Looked like that was going to drop right over the head of Rumau. She stuck up her hand at the very last second. This is well placed. Feet back behind the goal line as well.
Now look at this counterattack we get from the Rockets.
This is a young lady that's got the goal so far tonight, Webster. Right back at her. And Snyder. Taken off of her foot there by Lee out of bounds. Show you that last shot one more time and just how close this was. I mean, she had to retract all the way inside of the net there. So that was probably inches away from crossing the line. We remain even up here, one apiece. And not a lot of time remaining here in regulation. And for Granville, it wouldn't be a playoff game without overtime lately. That has been their MO. 2-0 so far, though, during the tournament in extra sessions. They've played 3 of them.
They'll be pretty mad if you jinx them here. Of course, I don't know if that's 100% real or not. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't happen. You never know with broadcasting.
Oh, the good old announcer's jinx. Certainly feel like we're in for some fireworks over these last 9 minutes, though. Have to backtrack here, Linsenmeyer. Good ball, a lot of space, good pace to the outside as well. Bay looking to set up. Webster drops it back. Kazma, good move. Got to the next level, though, and found Mebe Wood waiting for her. Bay trying to stay on the attack. They've got these youngsters up top, playing some big minutes here down the stretch. Couple of freshmen. One with a goal. Kazma nearly had one as well. It's going to be rocket throw. Last touch there by Isla Cook. Big drive, a lot of space out there as well. As you see Finley Boone well off, comes over. Now she defends. Little crease, no shot, dribbling in there. Oh, off of the post.
Wow.
Nearly a second goal for Meg Webster.
Saved by the post.
Mere inches away. And I'll show you what just happened. We had another shot, not a lot to it. So actually, I won't even show it to you. Wasn't a lot there.
Granville, you can kind of breathe a sigh of relief, at least for now, but
yeah, that's a big exhale for them. Here, now we will show you that last shot. Going to be another corner kick opportunity here for the Bay Rockets. As the clock spinning under 7 minutes to go. Bodies littered throughout the 18 inside the box. Takes a couple of hops. And now this one, just a couple of feet wide. So another near goal opportunity for Bay. And pretty good boot on ball there by Ruby Render.
yeah, and if you're Granville, you still can't quite breathe yet. You're still kind of holding your breath, hoping that you can get it at least relatively to midfield, if not completely on the other end of the field. And all that pressure that you've been given for, the past 2 minutes now?
Granville trying to alleviate some of that pressure here. It's a young lady that can do it for you, Cook. And she gets flipped down to the turf, foul. And we'll have a free kick coming up here for Granville. And this is Mimi Wood territory typically. And they'll try to fan out, get some options all around the 18. See, they got them all bundled up out to the right side. Wood, the lefty, she can bend it back towards that way from the football 40. That's exactly what she'll do. But that one, not quite enough pace behind it. Granville's going to keep possession. They've got an option to the outside. Miller's going to try to take matters into her own hands. Nice setup, one-timer, or just wide. Good looking setup. Reagan Smith with the shot. And you really got to just applaud Ivy Miller for taking on 3 defenders. Sucks over the eyes of a couple of more. Found Smith, and that was a pretty decent strike as well. So the stats kind of even here in the second half after we saw Bay just flat out dominate in every category in the first. Heavy touch by Webster. Granville now back with the ball here. Finley Boone skirts this one to the middle. Little bit of space in front for Ehrlich. Almost was able to push that one through, thread the needle for Smith again. Gorgeous turn by Snyder just to alleviate some pressure and set up Mimi Wood driving this one back post. The header.
Oh, here we go.
The keeper.
No! Wow.
Davin Miller nearly had the go-ahead goal in her second of the match.
But Granville fans still making their voices heard tonight.
Look at this.
I mean, she had the wide open pretty much. As long as she beats that one defender, she's wide open. We're going to get a corner kick.
Looks like Granville's selling out. They do have 2 back at midfield, but they've got Mimi Wood, the anchor of that back line. Up here for the strike, and nearly bobbled, but gathered. So Olivia able to make the clutch catch there. Heavy traffic all around her, and those are always just anxiety-filled moments for any fan base, and certainly for the keeper. Blue Aces have been putting some heat on. Can Bay dig into their bag of tricks here with Fetterman and company in the closing minutes? It's been the freshmen, really, that have been the offensive weapons in the second half. Good-looking cross, and then deflected. Another one!
Wide to the right.
Bay's trying to argue that it was tipped. We'll be able to tell in slow motion here. Here it comes off of the second shot.
It doesn't quite look like it.
The call on the field is the Sydney Laufer. Must have got a pinky nail on it. So it gives the Rockets another great look here. Madeline Lee from the flag, back post. And it's going to get swept out of there, cleaned up. Will 80 minutes be enough to decide a victor here tonight? Or will someone throw on a heroic effort? I think they're going to get Miller here for a push. Yeah, it was certainly very well sold. So here comes Bay and Ruby Render. Last 70 seconds, ball in the air. Trying to flick towards frame, Fetterman. Now here's Danny Kaufman, settles a bit. Linsenmeyer turns, creates a little bit of space. There's just a lot of blue aces in there.
Down to 50 seconds left. And what is probably not going to be the game. Unless Rockets, they have some momentum here. Maybe we're going to get to see a last-minute goal in the last 30 seconds or so. But Granville taking over.
They might have a chance. One last opportunity.
Here we go. They're going to keep it in.
Dancing with it, it's Isla Cook. Turn towards the middle. Well behind the intended target. As we're down to 15 seconds. Barreled up Mimi Wood. Here's Mimi again. She can really blast off. She'll take dead aim, and it's off target. And that is how regulation is going to end.
How about that?
Two halves are not enough. We are headed to overtime here tonight, folks. We'll take a quick 5-minute break. We will be back here at the Colt Corral. We'll have your golden goal session coming up live and free.
This is Jonathan Langdon. Catch me right here every Thursday for the Block Party presented by Bob and Bob Door Company, your place for volleyball highlights on the OH Report.
Looking for the best high school sports coverage in Ohio? You found it right here on the OH Report. From the field to the court, we've got it all. OH Report brings you local coverage like nobody else in the area, live and free. Follow OH Report now and never miss a moment of the action. Don't just watch, be a part of the game with OH Report, the future of local sports. Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
State semifinal action here from Clear Fork. 80 minutes in the books. We are still playing, folks. That is right. Overtime is coming up here in the Valley, Bay, and Granville. About to go head-to-head here for a golden goal. I'm Brian Skowronski, my intern Jackson Yoder with me here tonight. Let's show you the numbers so far, and this is through the 80 minutes of action. You see that Granville, they really picked it up in the second half. We presumed that that was going to be the case. They're getting outclassed a little bit just in terms of the time of possession and the looks, the shot offerings through the first 40, but it's like I saw in the regional championship. They kind of flip a switch, they take it up another level, and I think that we had a very competitive second half.
We definitely did. We saw a lot more things even rather than one-sided, and just maybe a little bit more on possession-wise for the Aces. You know, they had it in Rockets territory, definitely a decent amount in that second half rather than the first half. This is going to be a fun overtime, and I think they just play better when they're down or even in tied. They've had, what was it, like 3 other overtime games before this? So if you're Granville, 2. Okay, so
but 3 total overtime sessions, a double overtime win and then an overtime win.
Okay, so 3 total overtime sessions. So they definitely know they've played in overtime. They have experience. They've won in overtime. And so now the question is, can you do it one more time to punch your ticket to the state championship?
One more time to celebrate. That's what comes to mind here. Who is going to step up and make it happen? Let's see. I want to say what's up. Hey, we got someone tuning in from Augusta, Georgia. That's Hayden Kaufman.
And that's our new leader for the furthest away.
Yes. And then over on the Facebook side of things, 10 new comments coming in here. Aunt Amy just says, how exciting. Let's go, Aces. Kate Wallenberg says, let's go, girls. She believes in you, Aces. That drive was beautiful, according to Heather and Dean Whitehead. 1-0 Baden with 22 minutes left to play. Shout out to my man, Greg. Let me know if we've got a final on that one. That, of course, is going to be the opponent. And what an upset that would be. Just from talking in my little circle of soccer people that I know, and then just taking a look at the Twitter, Hoban was the #1 team to beat, I think, in the tournament, even though Bay is the defending champions. Boy, what an amazing night that we've had here.
This is wild.
Well, I do see Patrick says that the goalie might actually be Riley Mitchell. Is that correct? Just in a
perhaps
different uniform. Okay. So Riley Mitchell in there for Bay as we are into overtime. And if you guys don't know the rules, it is golden goal. So any score, and that's it. Show's over. Drop the curtains. You're moving on to Columbus. The other team, they're moving into basketball season or wrestling, whatever the ladies do these days. Well, there's a lot of great girl wrestlers. This one just gets flipped overhead. Nice build-up instantaneously by Madeline Lee with the carry down the far side. And it looks like the Rockets, they're out for blood. They want to end this thing here early. Going to be a turnover here in the middle of the park. Reagan Smith with the turn, but delivers right back to him. Re-gives the favor. Weingart out wide. Plenty of space. Gets the cross, or actually the shot, and it's in! That's the golden goal! Spectacular! Bay Rockets moving back into the state championship game. Glorious goal from Aley Fetterman.
What did I just see? Oh. And the Aces goalie's got to be so upset. It was a good diving. I thought she might have had it. No way that fell in.
We'll show it to you one more time. Please? We have to.
Yes.
Fetterman, a little bit of space, and she's like, I'm just going to launch.
Pull it up from 11 yards, and that is insane.
Prime time positioning. The junior, our player spotlight tonight. She has punched the ticket to Columbus. The tournament trail continues now for the Bay Rockets. They are your victor here at Clear Fork tonight. Fantastic ending that we got to see one more time. Just cannot give her that much space. And for Sydney Laufer, played on her head all night. An incredible amount of saves. But it's the Bay Rockets. Perhaps the team of destiny.
Just wow.
Looking to repeat in Division III. They are back in the state finals. Look at those smiles for these young ladies. Such gratification. And on the flip side, I mean, there is just such a thin line between joy and pain out here in these overtime sessions. One team feeling on top of the world, the other feeling like the world just ended.
Yep.
We're not done, though, here. We are going to hear from the game-winning goal scorer, Aley Fetterman. That is coming up on the other side. We will have your MVP interview still to come. Plus, we will wrap things up. We'll have your final stats, give you some analysis, and just, wow. We'll have to show you that game-winning goal at least once or twice more.
Gosh.
That's going up as its own clip all over the OH Report family of social media channels. Congratulations to the Bay Rockets. You and your fan base aren't done yet. Neither are we. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
This is Jonathan Langdon. Catch me right here every Thursday for the Block Party presented by Bob and Bob Door Company, your place for volleyball highlights on the OH Report.
Looking for the best high school sports coverage in Ohio? You found it right here on the OH Report. From the field to the court, we've got it all. OH Report brings you local coverage like nobody else in the area, live and free. Follow OH Report now and never miss a moment of the action. Don't just watch, be a part of the game with OH Report, the future of local sports. Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Fantastic finish here tonight. Clear Fork High School, the venue, and there are your state championship bound Bay Rockets. Phenomenal ending to tonight's game. 2-1. They get it done. What a goal. What a goal by Aley Fetterman to punch their ticket back to Columbus. Their tournament trail is not done just yet. I am Brian Skowronski. Jackson Yoder is with me. And I think we were both just like stunned when she launched and she put that one in the back. It was just, it just took took the defense off guard. They weren't quite expecting it. And for Sydney Laufer, she did everything that she could. Full extension, got her paw up in the air. However, that was just perfect placement. Let's see it again.
Let's take a look at the replay one more time. Maybe another one, but dude.
Useful.
Just, I don't even know if the coach drew that up or what, or he's just like, you know what, you're taking the shot, boot it. I mean, they've had a lot of those type shots maybe the whole night, just, you know, shooting it from just about wherever they could, and somehow, some way, this one managed to fall past the goalkeeper and into the net.
See Aley Fetterman down there getting instructions from Chris Laux, who is the Northwest Ohio. He's the soccer guy for around here. He's going to bring her up, and we are going to get an interview with Fetterman, making her march up here. Let's take a look, though, at the final stats. It didn't really change a whole lot from what we showed you guys, so definitely want to applaud the defensive effort for Sydney Laufer here tonight. And obviously, these are unofficial stats, but we're guessing that she was somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 saves tonight.
She had to be.
Absolutely tested.
100%.
She played such a great tournament, and just the style that Granville plays with, where they put a lot of pressure on her in the first half. She was up for the challenge. It was 0-0, of course, going into the second half, and then in that extra session, it did not take long. Bay marched right down the field. They got Madeline Lee initially trying to make something happen, and then the game-changing play, the game winner from our MVP, Aley Fetterman, who's making her way up here right now. This was just a great contest all the way around.
I think 100%. You can't argue. This might have been the best game I've covered in my entire internship, but like without a doubt. I think we've seen just about everything that there was to see. We saw a potential comeback. They're devastated in the end, couldn't pull it off, and the winner, obviously, here is the Rockets out of Bay.
All right, so we've got a bunch of Bay Rockets making their way up here. We're going to go into a quick commercial timeout. We'll be back. We'll have your MVP interview in just a minute. Stay with us.
This is Jonathan Langdon. Catch me right here every Thursday for the Block Party presented by Bob and Bob Door Company, your place for volleyball highlights on the OH Report.
Looking for the best high school sports coverage in Ohio? You found it right here on the OH Report. From the field to the court, we've got it all. OH Report brings you local coverage like nobody else in the area, live and free. Follow OH Report now and never miss a moment of the action. Don't just watch, be a part of the game with OH Report, the future of local sports. Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
You are now looking at the game MVP, Aley Fetterman, and she brought some backup as well. You're moving on to the state championship game again. How's it feel?
amazing, really. Like, for a minute there, I really didn't think we would make it, but, like, our team pulled through. We played to the very last second, and I'm so proud of everyone going.
Yeah, you guys had some phenomenal seniors a season ago, of course, lost to graduation, and you needed to find some new pieces to step up. You've kind of been the goal scorer for this team this year, so just talk about your role on this team and how you've been able to kind of fill in those shoes here in your junior campaign.
Well, I definitely had some great role models last year, like my sister, Tessa, Emery. Everyone was super great last year. They really showed me how to be a leader on this team, which I think is the shoes that I've come to fill pretty much. Really just everyone's been rebuilding the team, coming together. It's been a really great season.
And when you're the defending champs, there's a target on your back. You guys play a really tough schedule. So just to get to this point in the season, obviously you have to be very proud. What has this journey been like with you and your sisters out here to get to this point where you're back in Columbus?
Yeah, it's definitely been a really tough journey. Definitely a target on our back. We've been some people's senior night, but it's been super fun. We've been really learning a lot throughout these playoff games. We've gotten a lot better. Yeah, we're doing really well. I'm really excited.
All right, but I got to show you here. I'm going to replay the last goal. Oh, shoot. Never mind. I thought that I had it dialed up for you, but we're getting a replay of you just sitting here with your friends in the background. So I thought that I was going to have that live goal for you. Anyways,
That's all right.
It was sick. It was really, really cool.
I'll have to watch it. 'Cause I do not remember that. Like, it was kind of just a big blur. Like, I don't know. There was so much excitement. It was awesome.
You kind of just blacked out in the moment,
Yes,
you think?
Yes. Yeah.
Just came out and like pummeled her round.
Yeah, that was intense.
Yeah, there was
It
about
got dark.
20 of your friends on top of you. You went into a hole there pretty much immediately.
Yeah, it's okay though. It was super fun.
So I'm told that Baden upset Hoban tonight, so that is going to be your opponent in the state championship match. Yeah. That's what I heard.
That's awesome. Okay,
1-0.
I'm so excited. This is going to be an amazing state championship game. I can't wait. That's awesome.
Yeah, what are you most looking forward to going back to historic Old Crew Stadium and just getting a chance for, a couple more practices, one more game?
Well, I mean, there's just so much to look forward to. Like, my team and I staying in the hotel, I just, remember so much fun. We really bonded that night, and I think that really, propelled us, to win the state championship. I feel like if our team's together, we're working together, we all are on the same page, that really helps win the state championship. So that night in the hotel was awesome. I feel like that's what I'm really looking forward to, and hopefully winning.
Fantastic. Well, definitely, I think we're going to follow you guys out on Columbus. I got to come see you guys compete again. Congratulations, your player of the game tonight, Aley Fetterman. Before we let you go celebrate again with that awesome bus ride that you're about to have, we got a little tradition here. If you just want to give as many shout-outs as you want, go for it.
I'd like to shout out my big sister, Lizzie Fetterman. She's at the U.S. Naval Academy. I don't want to cry. And I love you so much. You're my biggest inspiration. Oh my God. And I just am so proud to be your sister. So hopefully I get to see you soon. And my parents do. They're awesome. So yeah, and my teammates, everyone's great. I love all you guys. I couldn't have done that without you guys. We're all gonna win states this year, and I'm really excited.
Oh man, you're not crying. I'm crying now. All right, Aley, thank you so much for the time, ladies. Enjoy that bus ride home.
Thank you.
Back here to close it out. I mean, what an interview we just had. Aley Fetterman and the gang there. Really emotional. I mean, I think I think everybody started crying in the room when she started shouting out her sister. So, the shout out Riley and the gang coming up here, and just what a performance! What a fantastic goal here! Just the perfect way, I think, to end the match when it was really fun, back and forth in that second half. Somebody had to win, and it was Bay in the first minute, 10 seconds of overtime. That was great.
I don't even think we could have. I think if they had at least one extra minute in that second half, I think they would have put it through too. Or maybe it was just the fact that they started off a brand new half. Sometimes, right when you're starting off, you can make a quick move fast, and you can get past the defenders and make a quick shot. And I think that's what they did. And I think they caught the goalkeeper maybe a little bit off guard, and that's why they were able to put one through with only a minute and 3 seconds down.
So coming up next for Bay, they are state championship bound. They've got Baden next, and you can tell a little bit of surprise that they're excited now
They are.
that they don't have to go up against Akron-Hoban, who I think was kind of everybody's pick, like I said, in Division 3, so that shakes things up a bit. And for Granville, put a quick bow on their season. This is a team, great tradition, of course, and they had a couple of interesting results during the regular season coming in here into the tournament. A very gritty team, and you just kind of felt like, hey, if it goes to overtime, this is what they do, man.
Yeah, this is what they're known for.
But just couldn't get it done tonight, but a really good team, and I kind of like their style of play, where it's a little bit of a rope-a-dope, if you will, to kind of make a boxing analogy, where they don't give everything in the first half, and then over the last 40 minutes, they really bring the pace of play.
Yeah, I think, just like the Ohio State Buckeyes, they're a second-half team, and I think that's what they specialize in the most, is they start off slow in the first half, right? They start to just build up. They rest a little bit, and I think maybe they just let their opponent maybe burn themselves out because they're thinking, wow, this is a kind of a weak team. And then once they get into the second half, they're like, oh wait, this actually isn't the weak team we thought we were playing, and now we're going up against a team that could really pull this thing together.
Fantastic night here on the OH Report. 2 girls State Final 4 games. I just got a final score text on the other one as well. We've got Hudson, a 2-0 winner over Bishop Watterson. So the one-loss Hudson team is now moving on into the state championship. That is in Division 2. And we've got more action coming up for you guys tonight back here at the Colt Corral. St. Charles versus St. Ignatius. That is boys D1. And then for you Bay fans, again, we're looking to cover you guys for the boys tomorrow against Wyoming down at Big Walnut in the Columbus area. So give me a shout, get a hold of me if there are any sponsors that want to be a part of that. But for now, for tonight, for my fantastic staff here, good stuff as always. Jackson,
Thank you.
my intern, the Emperor as we call him, doing a great job. Our camera lady, Jory Hollenbeck, also puts together all the little promos that you see. For Adam Thompson, who builds all the cool graphics, Travis Berardi, Jonathan Lingen, everybody back at OH Report World Headquarters. So long for now. We will see you. More soccer action coming up tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
Good night.